G.O.D. we remain solo. Universal complex, how the team grow though. Every memory captured, that's a mind photo. Kashik record, yeah, we training in the source dojo. Fear's normal, but never fearing you mere mortals. Look through the portal, we are gods aura. Light speed, travel through the shadow, calling my battles. Yin yang effects of atomic particles to an atom. Like Eve is the atom, a true completion of matter. Love alignment with the self, information all gathered. I might spark with the Buddha, spread the knowledge of Tutor. Peace and love be the ruler of all that we doing. Blue waves and sound we raise profound. A treasure found, we hold the crown. I feel that ambition transmitting my vision. Solar system in my eyes, galaxy aligned. I smoke this fire every time I need to clear my mind. I hop up in the booth, I'm telling truth cause I don't gotta lie. My life character in the air, they unaware. I see the air but still care, look in the mirror. I'm smoking ganja, the only thing I need but air sight. I'm just fucking with you, but the universe gon' take me there. I'm blasting through the cosmos, twisting bounce with the fronto. Swaying to the rhythm in my mind like it's a bongo. Take a look at yourself, be a leader, never follow. That's my motto, living mono from the bottom, how we conquer light. Yeah, I dance with the enemy together, making melodies. When I breathe, yeah, that's energy, balancing my energy.
So long as you are trying to make progress, you will go up. But not always implies down. So while you are trying to get better and better and better, that means that when you get to the best, you will only belong to the worst. So you go round and round and round, ever chasing the illusion that there is something outside yourself, outside your here and now, will be attained when you make things better. And the thing is, to recover from that illusion, something better means somebody who is woken up and discovered that running around this thing may be fun. And it may be good to run around, but if you think you're going to get something out of it, you're not going to get it.
Of my chakras with my crystal smoking killer. Born to be the best, I must confess this is my calling. Gifted with the talent, gain some knowledge, now we ballin'. On temptation all around, Satan spawning hellhounds, but my light remains to shine even when I feel down. Every breath that be profound, the ancestors so proud. We ignite the revolution, mystic spell with the sound. Blue waves and sound, we raise profound. A treasure found, we hold the crown. Yo, yo, yo. What's good, CLE family? Got some people here in the chat. Shout out 3 Eyes, bro. You always pulling up. Shout out Brett. We got a special guest tonight. Got the homie Illuminati Congo. In my eyes, he's a legend. One of my favorite rappers in the game. Also an amazing friend, full of knowledge and love.
gonna welcome him onto the show. Here we go. What's good, brother?
Yo, peace, Bridget. It's great to be here in the ether worlds with you.
Yeah. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, man.
So how you been doing, man?
Yo, I'm joyous. I'm joyous. I'm still surfing this high wave from my daughter being born early this month. She arrived on the planet to grace us, and so we just are celebrating and getting to know her and celebrating a new cycle in our lives.
Yeah, man. I know when I seen that on Instagram, man, that was life changing. Just seeing that, like, I know that people do, like lotus bursts and like home bursts and stuff, but I haven't like known anybody like personally in my life that's did it, or at least I know
Yeah,
of that has did it. So I think that's
I
it's
think I
really
think
powerful.
I think D Rock did with his last two children as well.
Oh, really?
Uh, yeah, and yeah, I did with these my last three children, uh, home births and lotus birth with the last two, and it's all through. It can only be done through God's grace and through the strength of uh, the mother. She at this time she actually caught baby uh, herself because we were in the tub. She was in the tub while we were doing the birth, and it was so small in there that it was hard for me to reach. So baby just got ready to slip out at one point, where in the way she was facing, it was just like, yo, she just scooped it up like a football player.
Yeah.
And it was at that moment, it was huge, huge bursts of joy.
Yeah, dude, that's amazing, man. When I had my son, it was a completely different experience, but I always like wondered what it'd be like if we did it that way.
Yeah, yeah, them hospitals are wild. That's how most of us came into the planet. And
were you were you
Tupac.
born in the hospital?
Yeah, yeah, I was. Yeah, like I said, most people were, and that's why Tupac said, he made up an acronym for Thug Life. A lot of people thought Thug Life is just being a cutthroat gangster, but that's not what it stood for. The acronym THUGLIFE stands for the hate you give little infants fucks everyone. And
I
so,
never heard that.
yeah, yeah, he was big on that, and uh, that is what birth trauma is. Uh, is this bringing children, like our first experience of the earth and coming into the world, is filled with, in most cases, with manipulation and toxins, bright lights, and a lot of force and chemicals and stuff. And it's like, yo, if we come into the world with that experience, then it's gonna impact us, and we can clear it. Love, breath work, the grace of God. These things help clear all of that. But if we don't ever recognize that there's a problem, we trying to solve every other problem instead of recognizing that
Where the problem
there's
kind of
an
starts.
yeah, the initial root
Yeah.
that informs all of the other traumas that we may attract or participate in later. They are most likely rooted in birth trauma.
Yeah. And I think it's like something also that like when you go through something like that with somebody, you know, in that like you have to have God there, you know, to make sure like it you know, it's such a dangerous, I guess, kind of thing in a way, you know, there's a lot of room for things that could, you know, potentially go wrong and stuff. So it's like you really have to have that faith and that connection. But what I was getting at
It,
is that
that's
what I was getting at though is it's like I think it's also good and can prevent even more traumas for happening down the line for the child because it's like that connection with the mother and father, you know, is going to create a healthier bond between them, you know, going through something so serious together.
for sure, for sure. That I've heard stats that 95% of home births go completely fine, which is, that's a wonderful stat. I've also heard lower stats closer to 75, but I've never heard anything lower than that, and that's pretty encouraging uh, to know.
Yeah, that's actually is because I didn't know that statistic. And that just goes
Yeah,
to show. Yeah, that's amazing. Well,
yeah,
it's super. It's a miracle, you know, and it's amazing that you know you got a whole new life now.
yeah, yeah.
So what you got? So on another note, man, what you got going on musically
Well,
lately?
I still got these RZA tracks that you helped mix and master.
Yeah,
Uh, they're supposed to be coming out very soon. I I believe they're coming out early October. Uh,
I can't wait.
and yeah, I'm very excited too. We'll have to see how it all progresses because I've yet to personally communicate with him. So I don't know anything on the other end, but I've been given the go ahead from what I know. So I'm gonna ride with it and just see what occurs.
Hey, and those songs are fire, so
Yeah,
fire. I was
thank
actually
you,
listening
man.
to them today in the car.
So yeah, you helped make them sound better. Cause them first two, I had like it sounded like World War II was going on in the back of me. Uh,
Yeah.
all of that sound in the back.
I'm interested to hear those versions now, just to like hear the difference.
Oh yeah,
Or
yeah,
wait, those were the reference tracks. So yeah, yeah, you're
yeah,
right.
yeah,
Yeah, I know
yeah,
what you're talking about. That's awesome, man. We still got some records we got to get out there. We got a few,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I,
and we
I
got a million
envision
more we need to still create.
yeah, may it be in Jah will, because I know we got some vibes we looking to create together, yo.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, man. Um. So I mean, anything else going on besides the RZA ones, or
Uh, well, I've been working on a little music with my brethren Derek from Pretty Lights. Just we got a couple little things in the works, and you heard that one Baba G song. Uh, so yeah, I've just been doing a little couple works with them, and we'll see what manifests. Something seems to be cooking and manifesting
yeah,
soon. I think I'm going to be heading down to New Orleans fairly soon to to work on a little more music with him and do a little show down there. It's just everything's just getting formulated now.
yeah. So let's see here. We got Illuminati Congo here. Chat. What's a question you guys want to hear from Illuminati Congo? What you want him to answer?
Yeah, I'm gonna throw some questions. Throw some
Throw
questions.
some
I
questions.
way.
Don't be shy.
I'll peep that. Hmm.
He said, "Did you ever get invited to a Diddy party?"
All right, hell no.
Oh, dude.
And if I did, I wouldn't go. But I know someone in the 47 crew. We know we seen at that Diddy party.
Yep, Joey B. He said, "Now he
Hmm.
said, how'd you get your name Illuminati?" I noticed.
Oh, Illuminati. Well, you know, Nati Congo is Rasta. Nati Congo means Rasta. So Illuminati, uh, Congo, it it's a play on that because I'm Rasta, and also because there are people who use the word Illuminati seemingly out of context. They call people who want to hurt others and manipulate and harm others Illuminati.
Right.
But I can't join that movement of affirming the illumination of someone who is or groups who are carrying on with that type of behavior, and so I don't associate anyone as Illuminati except people who are choosing to invite God's love into their heart. So Illuminati don't mean nothing to me other than being illuminated by the light and love of God in your heart. Uh, and it had that meaning even prior to Adam Weishaupt using the name for his secret society. Uh, early early Christians, the newly baptized Christians, used to be called the Illuminated, or another word would be called the Illuminati. And this is more of where it's rooted for me. But also, uh, like I said, I'm doing it to help dissolve fear-based ideas around it because fear might be more dangerous in someone's life than the Illuminati. Maybe.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I think it's cool though, cause it's like you're taking something that everybody else is trying to make negative
Right.
and putting light to it, illuminating it, like it
Right.
should. It already is.
Yeah, that's the natural state of it already. Uh, and so there's two things. There's something called the symbolic, and then there's the opposite called the diabolic. And the word diablo comes from diabolic, and it means to split apart, to try and separate things. Symbolic unites the things. Symbolic unites two things and finds the unity between them. Diabolic attempts to separate them. And so when you see people doing etymology, breaking down word spells and codes and things like that, often they're doing it in a fear-based way because their etymology isn't ruled by Jesus Christ, isn't ruled by the etymo, which means the truth, and the logos, etymo, logos, the word of God, Christ. It's not ruled by that. They're they're in a diabolic state when they attempt to make you attach evil things to words. So, like when people say the word uh, "good morning" is bad. Why is it good to be morning?
Yeah.
You just you, when you wake, that's like a funeral. That's because you're dead. I'm like, homie, I got the song DIE.
Right.
Do it every
Do
day.
it every
You know what I'm
day.
saying? You know what I'm saying? Dead already. It's like we once a man, twice a baby. Born again, I die daily.
Daily.
You know what I'm saying? That's so you can apply it depending on how you cite it. But if you're trying to see things through fear, See, the English language is corrupt, it's bastardized. No. Then that's what you finna put out. It's not what
Exactly.
goes in that defiles, but it's what comes out that defiles. So it's best we find a joyful song, a joyful meditation, a symbiosis, a symbolic in all the things we see, not the diabolic. You see me?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, man. Got the
See,
chat going crazy. Yeah, we got. He said, "Have you had a full Kundalini release and seen God in your third eye?" It's an
yeah,
interesting question.
man, yeah, man. It's an interesting question. A full Kundalini release. Well, I'll tell you this. I I started doing Kundalini yoga in late 1990s. I became a Kundalini yoga teacher in 2005. I've practiced Kundalini yoga as taught by Yogi Bhajan and by some other ancient yogis. I've also done different Tibetan yogas and Egyptian yogas ever since, you know, early or mid 90s. And I've had many wonderful experiences through doing this breath work. Uh, things with the third eye, openings, journeys, seeing things more clear, my body tingling. Every day I have a psychedelic experience with the breath where I can just breathe and start feeling like I'm doing DMT uh, just from breathing. Uh, is it what you said? I don't know. I think there's probably so much more for me to discover and explore. Um, but I've had experiences similar to what you asked, but there's probably way more.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I think we could give a lot of things names and stuff for them, but it's just like I feel like we all gonna experience God and our connection with God in our own way, in a sense,
Yeah,
you know. Um,
yeah.
so yeah, hey, I want to shout out Three Eyes for the $20 donation.
Yo,
Really
big up,
appreciate
big up.
that. We got I got the keys. Why are psychedelics seen in such a bad light by some people?
What's that? What you say? Why are psychedelics seen in such a bad light by some people? Oh, ah, well, you have really we have to look into those people's their upbringing and what they've experienced. They could have been traumatized by doing it. They could have done it and had bad experience. They could have a philosophy that says it opens one up to different realms and different unwanted entities. There are so many reasons why people can be against it, but they also probably haven't took the time to recognize that breathing
Is a psychedelic in itself.
exactly, and everything that we're seeing right now, everything that we're experiencing right now is the most wild, coherent, organized DMT trip ever. And we're just so used to it that we call it reality.
Yeah.
But it's actually it's actually a psychedelic experience, a psychedelic fractal experience that we are having. And if we slow down a little and do a little breath and then commune with the water and the fire, commune with the elements. Them elements, they got a lot of that flow, or that super grounded solidity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They got like they thing to them that's gonna inform us about it all, because it's all made up of them. What isn't made up of the elements? If it exists, it's made up of the elements. Is those make forms. The elements make the form that anything takes on. So taking time with elements, which are God's ambassadors, God's grace, you could call it the sacrament. Another form of the sacrament is some of my favorite activities, and they're the most psychedelic activities. That's why when you do mushrooms or do peyote or do DMTs in these ancient ways, what do they always have there? Fire. They always have fire.
Fire.
They'll always have sound, like the shaman or the medicine people always have these type of uh, things accompanying the rituals, because these things represent, like, you have a feather, a big feather, and you're
Yeah.
fanning the fire, fanning the sage. That's the air element. There's so many different ways that is brought into the symbols and the ritual tools of ancient culture, because the elements are most important. But people are against psychedelic just because people have fears.
And it's just like a lot of programming and just, there's still people that think weed's bad and shit. Like, like it's just what they've been taught,
Yeah,
and it's
man.
a lot of fear. It's just things they've
And
been taught and told that makes them
and
fear it.
it can be bad. It
Yeah,
can be
it
bad
can. Yeah,
in a certain extent. Like if you didn't come back from that bufo, I don't
yep,
know what I'd be thinking about
exactly.
bufo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I mean, but it changed my life, man. Like in so many
Right.
different ways. Like, and it was scary as hell, but it was also the most freeing I've ever felt in my life that I can remember, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yet, it's
Yeah.
been it's definitely been that it was crazy, but like that goes back into like what you were saying earlier. Like, since I've did that, it's like I don't know. I don't even like feel like I need to do psychedelics like that, because it's like I already feel psychedelic just by breathing and eating
Yeah.
healthier, and just my attitude and the way that I talk to myself and treat myself. And
And
it's like you
then
start
some
to
of that weed you smoking a little
yeah, and some of the
psychedelic
weed
too,
too. Hell,
boy. That
yeah,
weed got a
they
little,
do.
you got a little psychedelic.
Yo, 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 you know me, bro. I love to smoke.
Yeah, yeah, me too. And a lot of it is like a habit that's been built up around spiritual things, or spirit, which is breath work, and it's been built up around that in prayer. But just because of that doesn't mean that even I can't be abusing it. There's times when I'm I'm not using it properly, and I have to do what I can to be ever cognizant
Yep.
of that.
Yeah, I remember you told me something a while back, and you were like, "He's like, I gotta like earn my tokes, like I gotta
And
earn it. I gotta do
and
something to
do my
earn my."
20
Yep.
my 20 push-ups
Yeah.
before I blaze the chalice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that for a minute, and I was like at 400 push-ups a day for because I was blazing so much. But uh, I'm working on getting that regimen back going. Every time before I blaze, I do the 20 or more, or more. So I just have to make sure that
Smoke rituals. Ritual smoke.
Yeah. Got to reprogram the mind.
Yeah. So, all right. So one of my favorite songs, and I've been playing it a lot lately, is "Wei Wu Wei" by you.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
want
thank
you to tell me more about that song and like what that means,
you.
even though it explains it in the song.
Yeah, I was just about to kick the song for you. I was about to Way
Yeah.
Wu Wei. But it's the effortless effort. It's doing, not doing. It is uh, trusting in God, but still uh, carrying, you know, hammer and hammering the nails. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a it's a process of not trying, but allowing all of the resources that are in us and around us, and the inspiration in us, the whole of creation with us to help do the work, to help us on our journey. So Wei Wu Wei is a way of to let go, but without letting go.
But like, where does that come from? Like, where does that saying
It's
come from?
doubt. It comes from the Tao. It comes
Okay.
from the Tao in the Tao Te Ching, and you could a book you might like to listen to with you and your son is the Tao of Pooh, and it's like Winnie the Pooh. Uh, he's a great embodiment of the Tao, and so they sort of translate the stories or interactions of Winnie the Pooh and his friends into communicating what the Tao is about. And that book would be good for anyone at any wherever you're at. If you're a little kid, you know, I listen to it with my shorty, and he don't get it all, but he'll sit and listen. And sometimes when he hears something interesting, he just makes a face and smiles at me because he's getting a little of it. But yeah, the Tao. It's similar to a Zen concept as well. You know, there's Zen ideas in that. Zen and Tao share many many similar ideas.
So we got Mad Labs over here. He said, "Audi deuces. If this isn't an open live chat." Oh, he asked some questions. We didn't see him. He wanted to know about the esoteric entrance, the
Oh.
other esoteric entrance.
That's like from the song we talking about.
uh,
Uh, Probably. Uh, Well, I say the esoteric entrance, tile the door, check the tiles on the floor. You came seeking more light, you get what you came for. Yeah, that's from the song All Seeing Eye. Uh, so when we talk about esoteric, that's esoteric means the hidden, uh, and exoteric is the outer. So esoteric is like the inner. So what is the entrance to the inner? What is the entrance to the esoteric? And what is the innermost realm? Well, you have your subconscious where things are very hidden there, and in the unconscious things are very much hidden there, or within the heart there's things hidden there. Those are the innermost parts of our being. Uh, And so to go to the occult or go to the esoteric, most people think it's like to do some, you know, ritual or to do something satanic or something like that. It's not. When we talk about occult or esoteric, we're really talking about the innermost realms and places where it's manifest, where God is manifest, where the pattern, where the logos is manifest, and the entrance to it can be numerous things, but they're like gratitude and praise and love. These are the true entrance, the ways to enter those portals. And if people try to enter them any other way, they get sent to. If you try to enter into the esoteric or into the astral in any other way than praise, love, and gratitude and those fruits surrounding that, that's how you get sent into dimensions and experiences that are hellish, or the dark realms, or whatever people would call it. But you know how to always get out is with praise, love, gratitude, and humility. You will always be able to get out of hell with praise, love, gratitude, and humility.
Yeah.
Haile Selassie Aija Rastafari.
Need them 20 push-ups. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, we doing it. Yeah, so I mean, you know, you're such a special guest on this show. It's like, you know, I'm just like everybody else. I'm trying to learn from you too, man. Like you said, man, you was doing yoga when I was in diapers, so I think it's just
Yeah.
you know, that's why I like, you know, I don't even know what to say because I'm like I'm just absorbing all this knowledge. Like, so it's that's why like I love doing this is because it's like I'm learning so much as well.
Me too. Yeah. That's it's still the yoga. It's still the process. It's still the ever new beginning for me, because you know I was born today. You know, not even yesterday. You know how people be like, "You think I was born yesterday?" That's when they getting all prideful and arrogant about something. You think I was born yesterday? Well, nigga like me was just born today. So that's how new and fresh and beginning I am. I okay, I been doing a lot of stuff for a long time? Yeah. But I died today. I died to all of that. And I just come fresh right now. Actually, you could do it with every breath too, because every exhalation, there's another word for exhalation. Your inhalation is called an inspiration when we're talking about respiration. This is the inspiration. Your exhale is called the expiration, which is the death of something, the expiration. So with every exhale, you can be dying to the old, and with every inhale, you could be coming to the new. And so we all just babies up in this. We never are more than a baby at the most ultimate level of our being. Now, at the obfuscations that we put over our being, this is an interesting thing. People start calling themselves grown, and that's what they start having, groans. Oh, groans. Not only that, people start calling themselves adults, But what does the word adult come from? Adulterated. Doesn't the Bible say not to practice adultery? Well, people out here practicing hella adultery every time that they calling themselves an adult and thinking that they grown and not being born again. It's like the Bible said to be born again. The Bible said to come as a child. The Bible said to be like these little ones. The Bible said a child will lead them, you know, to the babe and suckling. You know what I'm saying? It say all of that, and then they talk about adultery, but then we walk around trying to be adults, grown like we know it alls, and trying to break things down. But I'm gonna break it down. This is what actually happened. Jesus isn't real. This is a new not kill, and blah, blah, blah. Like, come on, just chill out. Just enjoy yourself. If you love and live, then love and live.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? If you don't need to bring up Jesus, you know, because you haven't done no monastery. You haven't done a monastery, you know what I'm saying, where you practice Christ consciousness, where you practice Christianity. You know what I'm saying? To actually let the fruits of it come up in and through you. So then how can you even speak about it from the outside when you only speak it from like propaganda that's given?
Yeah.
I just had to say that for a minute because there's a lot of people every day online that are always trying to fire shots at Jesus and the church and all these things, and they bring all these other fanciful Zechariah Sitchin stories into it, these Sumerian and Mesopotamian stories, and I study all that. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, look, you look around. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I study all of them things, so I'm not being ignorant to it. But what I'm saying is, when you find a path that feel good for you, that work for you, be with that path. You don't need to go around, you know, firing shots at everyone else's path. Now, I guess I'm firing shots at the path that says you have to fire shots at paths.
Yeah.
And is that fair? Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
But I had to speak on that for a moment because there's a lot of weird ideas out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I think, you know, for me, like growing up, I know a lot of other people, you know, probably feel the same way. It's like once they kind of like start waking up and realizing, you know, life isn't really what we've been told and programmed to think, then they start, you know, almost the word Jesus or, you know, Christianity will scare people away because
rebel. Yeah.
because they're like already like uh they're already programmed to think that way.
And conditioned. Yeah, they already got their experience of what it is, and having don't know nothing about the Ethiopian Orthodox Church and its anciency or like the ancient languages or whatever. And that's nothing. That's not to shame anymore. I have a song called "Death to Your Doctrine" that's all about that. It's total rebellion against religion, tear up the holy books, all of that. I understand. Like, I completely understand that point of view. I've read the book called "The Book That Your Church Don't Want You to Read," and all these different things like about the Flavians and how the Council of Nicaea tampered, and Psalms 46 is actually Shakespeare, and all of these things. Like, I've been study those things, but you get to a point where you ask yourself, okay, what is most impactful in our way of relating to each other?
Yeah.
And for me, my testimony is that when Jesus said that the greatest commandments is to love God with all your heart, mind, body, soul, spirit, strength, whatever the words was, and then he said to love your neighbor as yourself, to me, that condensed everything into a perfect practice, along with some. And so I think about, okay, with all of the problems that go on in the world, like right now, what can help solve them? like on a physical level.
Yeah.
Well, if we loved our neighbors as ourselves, that it's a very practical. If we love God with all our body, with all our strength or mind and heart, like these things are actually very practical. Even though God, the word God, is very abstract to many, but when we bring it home with strong theology, that's the thing. People and people are against theology and dogma because, like you said, it reminds us so much of
Well,
the
all the
oppression.
lies.
Yeah, the oppression and the lies and those things. And so we'll abandon a whole structure and a whole pattern because we think that that's where the oppression is, in that
Yeah.
structure and pattern. But it's really, the oppression is in we the people, in our choices, how we apply the things that we're doing,
Yeah.
and how we show forth, how we show up.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that when you sent me that book, Universal Christ,
Mm.
that book, it's like probably the one of the only audio, not one of the only, but one of the audiobooks I've fully finished and listened to all the way through. And it opened my mind a lot in the way he was able to word some things. It just like,
Yeah.
boom. And I remember us having a conversation one time, and like Jesus, like that's the one you pick. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, uh, he makes you feel safe in a way. The other things are kind of a little scary, so in a way or something. Like like with the Hindu and Buddhism and shit. So it's like,
Hmm.
um, there's really no like, the main message is that it's all about love. You know,
Yeah.
and there's so many different ways of navigating to that love.
Yeah, for sure. The scriptures say that God is love, again and again, and and it even says that, we ought to share that love that we see, that God is with our brothers and sisters, and so that is the most important parts. For me, uh, the theology and dogma help me cultivate that love better, because without without a doctrine, sometimes we make it just anything goes. We make it just, we just make it up as we go along. And there's you can say that that's what, uh, a lot of these people were doing, that these religions are built off of. They were just making it up as they go along. But I have a firm conviction that they were living these lives through my readings of the desert fathers and mothers, and readings of the ancient practitioners of the faith from the first centuries in the deserts in Egypt and Ethiopia and Syria and these lands in Palestine. Uh, these people lived a certain way that not only created miracles similar to Jesus, like
Yeah.
healing miracles, but just the selflessness and the giving of themselves was so impactful for me to see how they would give themselves to each other, in these ways, and that's uh, one of the things that really drives it home for me, is these saints that practice and lived it to the point where a bunch of people around them recognize them as saints and as glorified, and then later on, the church would recognize them as that too. There's also saints that have never been recognized.
Yeah.
It never will be. uh, but just to know Like I think they do that so that we can know that there is still a continuation of people living, you know, similar lives to the apostles and disciples.
Yeah, and that's the goal. It's a
Yeah,
lot.
man.
It's a hard. It's hard though. It's very hard. A lot of
Yeah.
discipline and you know, um, but yeah, man. I got the keys said. Think y'all could talk about astral projection? I'm trying to learn how to do it. Feel like I'm getting closer. And we probably got a little bit more time.
Yeah, yeah. Astral projection. I can't say that I'm a like a master or practitioner or anything of that. So I'm not going to be able to give you any specific tips other than maybe right before you go to sleep. Uh, there's and I'm not sure if this is astral projection for me or not, or if it's more of a remote viewing type of thing that's going on. But
Yeah,
right before I go to sleep, very often big bright lights will flash in my head while I'm just laying down, and I don't know where it's coming from. Like I'll think that someone just flashed a light on me from
yeah,
the outside, and and that's not what's happening. So when I see that, or if there's any type of brightness that occurs inside of the head when you're laying down to sleep, uh, right before you're asleep, when that light comes or anything comes, a scene or any type of shape, don't try to look directly at it uh, with your eyes. Like try to disassociate from these two and just let what's already occurring continue to occur instead of trying to get a closer look. Like,
yeah,
oh, let me see what's happening. And I'm not even talking about opening your eyes. I'm just talking about even moving your eyes toward a direction of where it's happening in your head. Don't do that. Just be as clear and peripheral and diffuse with your attention as you can at that moment, and follow that light or that shape or whatever's coming with the sense in you that's seeing it. Follow it with with that part of you that's seeing it, and don't try to see it with these eyes. That's really works for me a lot. It also that it's a similar technique as when you're walking in darkness. And you know, if you try to look at something with both of you, like with your eyes clearly, it's harder to see. But when you uh, just focus on the periphery, sometimes it lights up a little more. Uh, that practice can also help you be able to see those things in the brain a little more.
that's a very 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 cool technique. never never definitely something I'm gonna have to try. Yeah,
Yeah,
but yeah, brother. Well, um, we doing it. We got a lot of cool combos in here. Got a lot of questions and everything, and I just really appreciate you
it ain't no
coming
more
on.
questions.
Not
Oh
that I
yeah, someone
see.
said when I rub my eyes, I see colors and shapes.
Oh,
It's like a mini
crazy.
DMT trip. Yeah, that's what that is called phosphenes. Those are called phosphenes. And I I personally theorize that God was like, yo, I'm gonna make some dope symbols and sacred geometry possible for anyone to see at any time,
Yeah.
right behind their eyelids, just so that they could like get a little questioning in them of like, what's this mystery? What is this mystery?
Yeah. I've always had a thing where like if I like push my eye down like this and like look, like I'll see like three of everything. I don't know if you've ever seen that before or anything.
Oh dang,
No, it's like a real
that's
thing.
crazy.
I don't know what it is. It's weird. It's like when you like press down on your eyes. Like I can see it right now. I can see three of you right now looking through the computer. It's I don't know what that is.
Gee,
But
I ain't gonna lie. One time, I was seeing upside down.
what?
Yeah, for like I don't know if it was like 3 seconds, and I just closed my eyes because I could not deal with it. It was like so painful to see like that,
Yeah. Was it
and
like something like were you in a like meditation or were you
I
doing?
had I had just got home from a flight. It was really late. I was really sleepy and irie, and I just blazed. And the light was weird in the dark room that I was in, like some type of light flash, and then it's and I was, it seemed like it was related to some type of pressure in my head, uh, along with the light flash, like the perfect conditions to cause my vision to go upside down.
Yeah.
And then I just closed my eyes and started breathing, did some connected breath, and prayed like, God, I don't know what this is, but
Yeah.
I don't want it. I don't want that.
It's like for
You
me.
know? Yeah.
Using the upside down.
Yo, it was tripped the fuck out, son. I forget about that. I ain't never really told nobody about that
Hey.
except my lady.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, awesome, man. Well, I really appreciate you coming on the show.
Yo, I appreciate you inviting me on, brothers.
Yeah,
I'm glad that you're doing this, making sure that we have these convos with each other in our community, these artists that we collab with. We this is important. So I'm gonna do what I can to be more vigilant about making sure that I spread the word too.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is just a learning experience for me. I'm just diving in. I'm not a professional like public speaker or anything or podcaster, but it's something I'm just like trying to. I feel like called to do, and just like with music, the more I did it, the more better I got. So it's been a fun experience, and I'm like, I have so many cool friends and people with so much knowledge. It's like I want to get that out on my platform as well.
No, you're good at it, and you got a good voice for it, and it's just a matter of you keep doing it, and then as the more you do it, you'll be like, okay, I know what I could do to make this part be right. I know I could do to get this on point. Well, as long as you keep showing up, uh, shoot, you'll be able to create a great outlet to share, and even break out some new artists to the scene too.
Exactly, and that's the goal. All right, so we got time for one more question. We got
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Skylar here. He said, typically, when do you use monatomic gold? I like using it working out. I think that was
That
the
sounds
first
good.
the first time we met in the flesh. You gave me a gift of some monatomic. No, it was colloidal silver. That yeah,
Ah,
yeah,
from them same people that make it though.
yeah. Jerome, shout out to the homie Jerome.
Yeah, yeah. Peace, Jerome. Uh, yeah, colloidal silver. Monatomic gold. If I'm gonna use it, uh, it's usually uh, there were times where I was experimenting with just using it every day, using it with uh, putting it in my smoothie and things of that nature. Now I'm more so use just a little tiny bit if I need to do any type of processing in the mind or body. I've found that uh, when I've used it right before I went on long bike rides, it feel like my legs is just pistons. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Uh, not that I don't feel what's going on, but they just feel a little looser and more more up for the challenge. Like they, it's like they got a little more motivation.
It's your
In the,
little it's your little boost.
yeah, yeah, but it feels like it's in the cells itself,
Yeah.
rather than like uh, r- rather than like in the digestive system. It's not like burning calories or anything. It's more
Yeah.
like uh, it's sending a type of electrical information through the cells.
Yup. And it looks like Skylar agrees with you. He said, "Yup," smiley face. That's awesome. Well, I really appreciate you coming on the show. I'm
Yeah,
sure we'll
yeah.
definitely
You
be
want to
doing it
get
again.
high with the breath real quick? You want to
Yeah, we could all do
do
it.
do psychedelic? If you're driving, don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Who knows if you're driving? But it's easy to get high with the breath. Uh, the first thing is to know that God made it easy. God gonna do that. God gonna make sure that you can get irie with your own breath, because that's what infinite intelligence like to do. Second thing to know is all you gotta do is breathe in. You just take that breath in and then let it go. The letting go is the part a lot of people they don't want to do. They want to either slow it down or push the breath out. No, you breathe in and then just let it go. So what we're going to do is 33 fast and shallow breaths through the nose. We're going to do 22 fast and full breaths through the nose. Then we're going to do 11 long and full breaths through the nose. We'll do that uh, with connecting the breath, no pauses, no breaks between the incoming and outgoing breath. And you can do it however feels best for you, but try to do it similar to what I'm doing, and you'll get some good benefits in it. So the fast and shallow breath helps alleviate pain. The fast and full breath energizes the body, and the long and full breath helps us relax. All through the nose, 33 fast and shallow, 22 fast and full, and 11 long and full breaths all through the nose. You can begin whenever you're ready. Long and full breaths now. almost there. Just a few breaths left. Come to whatever breath feels most grounding and peaceful to you. Now we could have gone even further with these breaths if we wanted to. But I wanted to keep it
I
keep it a
definitely feel
little gentle.
psychedelic right now.
Exactly, exactly. Anyone who really did the breath and like just attempted to go for it all the way, you're gonna feel psychedelic. You're gonna feel a little DMT, not overpowering where you
Yeah,
can't do what you gotta do, but you're gonna be like, oh, I feel tingly. I feel maybe even have a little glimpse or flashback of a
yeah,
thing. But yeah.
yeah. Yeah. I feel good.
I knew that
the
I would
begin
now.
the beginning the first breaths at the beginning were harder for me to keep up with you, but everyone else
Mm-hmm.
but as it
Mm-hmm.
slowed down a little bit I was able to catch up.
Yeah, those will get easier the more you practice. We'll do some more soon in the future too.
Yeah, absolutely. I know. I got a the homie Kashi sent me a bunch of his breathwork videos too.
Oh,
I've been
excellent, excellent.
trying to follow like some of his, and they've been helping a
Yeah,
lot. Um,
yeah.
Three Eyes said breathwork ain't no joke. No, it's definitely not.
Yeah,
you
man.
when I did that bufo, uh, Kashi had me, or the homies had me do the a lot of breath work beforehand, and I remember before I even hit the bufo, I was already feeling psychedelic, like
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
It was like I
You
was already
can.
practically tripping on DMT, like
I'm gonna tell you. I take people through breathwork sessions for an hour or more, and people end up acting like they are on bufo or ayahuasca. Like they'll be screaming, crying, laughing, doing the weirdest, craziest shit, and yeah, it's the similar thing. Uh, Sometimes we need a little push though
yeah,
from our animal and plant friends, and when we can get that help from nature, that's great. But from your experience, I don't think you ever need to do that again.
no,
Like you had you got the perfect experience out of it,
yeah,
and now it's just about integration. For me, it's similar with my DMT experience that I've had. Like if I end up called by that same realm and that same uh, brother or sister in that realm who's saying, "Hey, we need some time together to commune," uh, it's possible that
yeah,
I'd be there because I'm here to do God's will and go where God uh, calls me, and to make sure I keep up all my relationships. So that's even with whoever that brother or sibling in God's creation is. But I'm not. I don't feel out of touch with that sibling. Like,
yeah,
I feel I do this breath and I feel like I'm, you're here. You're
yeah,
communicating with me.
yeah,
So I think we're good.
yeah,
Unless you call, unless I'm urged on, and you know that the voice of the Lord will urge us. When God say move, you gotta move.
Hey, we're gonna just have to start hopping on FaceTime and doing some breath work together on the regular.
Yeah, yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that for sure. I could I owe you for that mix.
Yeah,
Anyhow.
yeah, absolutely. And like, What was I about to say? Also, you know how you were saying how, like, you know, psychedelics, they give you that like extra push, and like, you know, when I did that bufo, it was like that was all the push I needed, because it's like
Yeah.
that once I have been there, now it's easier for me to get back there without
Exactly.
it.
Exactly. And really, there there is telling us to bring it here.
Yeah.
That's what they told me when I was there, was like, yo, now that you see this, don't think that this is out there. Know
Yeah.
that the things that you have been shown since you were little till now, and all people this too. It's not, I'm not special in that, but everything that anyone has been attracted to, that sparks their joy, that brings their aliveness to the scene, those things are going to be funnels and channels for those realms. And when I say those realms, I'm not talking about some weird thing. I'm talking about the love and the connection and the eternal life that is felt in that experience is meant to be brought into our every interaction, and it's meant to be a catalyst for heaven on earth. The the Holy Spirit is this breath of life, and this is made by God. Now I can't make up any theories, but I believe that these plants and these different substances that we're able to use that are in nature are somehow imbued with a breath of life that helps to enhance ours. And that's why when I partake of cannabis, when I partake of mushrooms, peyote, or anything of the such, it makes me breathe more. It
Yes.
makes me breathe more consciously and even be more aware of the spirit in my breath, the spirit
Absolutely.
as my breath. And so I think that all of these psychedelics have, they're pushing us towards the breath of life, and the breath of life pushes us towards the Holy Spirit. When we give thanks for our breath, we start to contact and commune with the Holy Spirit, and then a lot can happen once Holy Spirit begins ministering with us and through us and to us.
Absolutely. And I mean, and then just the amount of breath work I've been doing lately,
Yeah.
I've seen so much, you know, just improvement in just my mind, and just, you know, with the energy I have throughout the day and everything. I think it's something that everybody needs to be doing. Everybody needs to be giving it at least a try.
You said you've been
I think
doing
that's
more
one of the
yoga.
yeah. I've been doing yoga too in the mornings, and just, you know, getting the body real stretched out and feeling good, and just really been focused on building like a really good morning routine that just set the vibes real high for the rest of the day, and, you know, feel that connection, because it's so
Yeah.
easy with day to day life and distractions and everything. You know, it's easy to fall off of your path, and, you know, but
Oh yeah.
when you kind of discipline yourself and create that, you know, that ritual, and you know, then it definitely, you know, it makes a huge impact.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. You start the day with giving of thanks and bliss and bringing God into. God's already in our body, but when we slow down, or when we stretch, when we breathe, we bring it into our body. Really, that's why we make prostrations, bowing down to just lay our whole body before God. You could do it on your back, That's Shavasana, Shivasana. But the doing it on the front, you know, prostration to the ground is very ancient yoga. You could see it in the ancient Egyptian glyphs, and that's how I started doing yoga, through Egyptian yoga. I saw the glyphs contained in one of the books, uh, that that what's the lady's name? I forget her name right now. Queen Afua. Yeah, Queen Afua had a book called Heal Thyself, and she had a chapter in there called Egyptian Yoga, and it had like 5 different little postures in it, and she compared it to things they was doing in Egypt. So I just started to try to do those postures in the big mirror I had at the crib. I was like at my 15th level on the planet, and within like a couple months, I walked into a bookstore and there was a flyer that said Egyptian yoga classes or Kemetic yoga classes. So I called, and the teacher was like, "Oh, you a shorty? You just uh, in high school? Well, you can come to the classes for free or for like just work study type of thing." And so I
Wow.
had a chance to start Egyptian yoga really, really early. And all the while, when I explored that path, it was because when I was little, Jesus, like, this is what I interpreted. I interpreted that Jesus told me that, because I asked, I was like, yo, there's so many different ways around the world that people live and do things, and are they all going to be in trouble because they don't know you or don't do what the doctrines say that, of the church, of this or that?
Oh no. It looks like we lost Congo. Let's see if he's gonna come back. He's coming back, y'all. He's back.
Whoa, that was weird. I didn't know what
Can't
happened.
hear you. Up there
We
we go.
good?
Yep, now I can hear you. Cool. Up. Whatever you just did is making. Oh no. Let's see if he's joining back. Here he comes. Looks like we're having some. Congo's having some technical difficulties, y'all. Yeah, Three Eyes, man. He's very wise, man. He's taught me a lot. Hopefully we can get him back in the chat. Or not back in the chat, but back in the stream. Let's see here. Hmm. Well, I don't know what's going on. Might have been some phone issues, battery, something like that. But either way, this has been a very memorable stream. Uh Congo, if you hear me, I hope you know I really appreciate you coming on the show. Really enjoyed doing breath work. I've learned a lot from this. I'm sure everybody in the chats learned something. And he's back. We got him. Hold up. Let's get him back in the. Yeah. I gotta add you back in here. Hold on. There we go. Well, like I was saying, thank you so much, Congo, for coming on the show. It's been an amazing episode, filled with so much
Yeah,
knowledge.
man.
Got to do some breath work. That was unexpected, but super appreciated.
Yeah, man, expect that. Expect that every time you run into Congo from now on. Me not leave anyone present without share the breath work. You see it.
Yeah.
Expect it, man. Yeah, but just to finish the thought, I was just saying, God told me to find God in everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And I did, and I went and I explored a whole bunch of things, and I seen that Jesus was in all of these things, actually, and that was has been a very fun, and it's still fun just seeing it to this day, uh, and it's it's the way that my mind works, that God works with my mind, that makes me see things like this. But I'm not telling anyone that they gotta see things the way that I see it. I seen someone say read the Kabbalion. Yeah, that's one of my favorites actually. The Kabbalion. Have you read that one, Aura? The
No, I
Kabbalion.
haven't. No.
That one's a must read. If you want to have like the basics of hermetic understanding, like the when people talk about hermetics or when people talk about Thoth or Tahuti, like the way that or Hermes, but that comes from Thoth and Tahuti, to understand how uh, ideas around Tahuti or Hermes were expressed. It's called Hermetics, and that book is one of the best for anyone just to get a good glimpse of these laws. They have like 7 laws of Hermetics in there, and like the law of polarity, the law of correspondence, and the law of divine paradox. And it's ways to understand the macrocosm and the microcosm. Uh, it's not a book that I say, you don't just take the book's word for it, but you read it and you weigh out the ideas and say, okay, that makes sense, and see how those laws can apply to your experience. That's what the book is for.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely look into it.
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, it's
Awesome.
by the 3 initiates.
I just literally put it in my notes right now, so I can go back and look into it.
Yeah, you can put it on audiobook too, and just take a listen to
All
it.
right,
It's easy.
bet.
It's a good listen, but it's even better to read actually. That's a good one to have a physical copy too.
Yeah, I think with me, I kind of like having physical reading, physical a little bit more. I feel like when I do audiobooks, sometimes I'll get distracted a lot easier um,
Yeah,
from it. But when I'm like up close and personal with me in my mind, it's a little bit different. It's a lot different. It's
yeah,
easier for me to focus on what I'm like the information I'm
definitely,
downloading, I guess.
definitely. If yeah, you have to be doing a certain type of thing specifically for an audiobook to stick with you, like
Yeah.
either driving or working out or something like that. But even then, you could miss it.
Yeah. Well, awesome.
Yes, brother. Glad you didn't abandon me when the connection went out. We was able to say our final
Yeah,
farewells.
absolutely. I didn't know what was going on. I thought your phone died or something.
Yeah, yeah. It was. I don't know. I think it had to be. connection. I just cut my thing off of Wi-Fi and just went with my normal phone connection for now.
Oh yeah, that would do the trick.
The modem was probably tweaking for a moment.
I know how that is, man. Wi-Fi problems. Well,
You plugged into Ethernet with your computer, or are you on Wi-Fi?
I just pay too much for internet.
So that's why you got a good connection.
I got so many different devices and stuff, yeah. But I don't like get like cable or nothing, so I just pay for internet.
yeah, us too.
But yeah, well, yeah, man, I'm about to go kick it with the fam.
Yeah, us as well, man.
Enjoy this.
You about to go watch that Tyreek? Watch that Tyreek?
Yeah, I actually am. That's exactly how you fucking dead. That's crazy.
I knew it.
That's exactly what we about to do, actually. You about to watch it, or you already see it?
We watched it earlier.
All right, I don't want to hear nothing.
I ain't saying nothing.
No spoilers.
I ain't saying nothing. Oh man, yeah, that one was intense.
I already know it is, man. It's about to get. It's already crazy, but it's about to get super crazy.
It's gonna be hella people looking. They're gonna be typing in Tyreek, like, what they talking about Tyreek?
Yeah, I know. They don't even know. They
don't
might.
Tell,
they
don't
might.
tell them.
Yeah,
don't tell them. Don't blow up my spot.
Yeah. Hey, it's it's entertaining though.
For sure. All right, Bridget.
Hey, man, peace and love, man. Thank you again, man. We have to do this again.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man.
Peace.
So, thank you. One love. Selassie.
I think you just... Here, I can do this. Boom. Well, you guys, we did it. We got Illuminati Congo in here. He blew my mind. I'm sure he blew your guys' minds too. Always with the heartfelt messages. So, thank you everybody that showed up to the stream this week. We're going to keep it going. We're probably going to take a few week break. I'm going to be out of town for the next few weeks. But after that, we're going to have some more artists come on. I think we're going to have the homie D-Rock on next. So, yeah, be on the lookout. If you don't already, go follow me, Illuminati Congo, on all social media. Tap into our merch pages, all that fun stuff. Really appreciate you guys, and look forward to doing the next stream. Peace and love.
We brought the fire, yeah, we inspire our dreams into triumph with the heart of a lion. That's how we defy 'em and resile. Questions of infinite life, connecting the stars in the sky. What does it mean to be mindful? Sending myself in a line. Nirvana, I'm lost in the vibe. Yeah, divine mind I follow. Healing with Shungay Bimbala. Sun blazing the ganja, then cast my mantra. Meditate so time, I'm in Mona. Falling within my dreams are colossal. Raising the vibration, I'm in Zen, yeah. I ain't me burning, yeah, I do this shit so naturally. In the mirror, see a God, disrespect, that shit blasphemy. OG in the wall, but Scotty burning, we pass the trees. Had to perfect the craft, turn my art into a masterpiece. Capiche, like the chief shaman on the beats. Elite, gelato burning, healing, all this energy complete. Charged up, like my courts in